Hey guys, and welcome back to another Season of Discovery gold making video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you an easy farm that any level 25 can do and make some quick and easy gold. Before we get into it, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that has gotten the guide, but let's get right into this video. So the item that we're going to be farming is the tender crocodile meat, and then also the pointy crocodile tooth to the vendor. Now this has a super high drop chance, up to like 45%, and the meat is actually used to make these two stews, and they have a really good buff for level 25 cap. So this is where the farm is located, over in wetlands. Now it's spread out all across this location right here. There's 3 different levels of the crocodiles. You want to be focusing on these ones right here, the wetland crocodiles. These have the highest drop chance out of all 3 of them, so you want to focus on that. And they're the ones that are shown in the map before, so they're just spread out all through the water up here at this location. Now they're super easy to farm. Now you can farm them like single target, or you can actually AoE them. You can pull like 4 to 5 at max before they start evading and running away. But even just killing them single target is a very good way to actually do this. And because the drop chance is so high, you're going to get a bunch of these per hour while doing this. And then also the tooth that you get, vendors for like 3 silver, and you get a bunch of them also, so you can have some straight raw gold from vendoring them, and then obviously selling the meat up on the auction house for a lot more gold. Now if you have skinning, this is a very good farm to actually skin at too. You get a bunch of leathers and stuff like that that you can either vendor if you want to, or if it's more worth putting it up on the auction house and you can get more for it, then I'd highly recommend throwing it up on the auction house. So overall, this is a super easy farm to do. You don't need skinning, so you don't need much whatsoever. I would recommend though being at least level 25. This will help you just kill the mobs. You could come here and farm from like level 23 to 25 for your last few levels, and you would make a lot of gold along the way. Now why this is so good, yes, the meat only sells for around like 10 silver on my realm, but the drop chance on this is so high that you end up with so many of these per hour that it really adds up very quickly. Now on some other realms it can have a much higher price, even sometimes a bit lower price, so I'd recommend checking out the price of the meat before you come and do this farm. But this will always be in demand all through phase 1 because the food gives a really good buff. It gives stamina and spirit, and it's a really good buff that a lot of people will be willing to pay a lot of gold to actually get their hands on the food that this meat makes. Now if you have cooking, you could also consider actually turning it into the stews and then selling them themselves if it's more profitable. Sometimes you can actually get a lot more for the stew by turning the meat into the actual stew, and that can sell for more depending on the market on your realm obviously and the current prices. But that is a great way that you can add in cooking with this farm and make a bit of extra gold if it is worth doing on your realm. But overall, this is a super good farm. Now this is in wetlands, so you may have some PvP, especially if you're horde and you come over here. Like as you can see in the background there is a horde and obviously on alliance. He's probably ran into heaps of alliance while doing this because just where the location of the farm is. But if you're not on a PvP server, shouldn't matter what faction you are. But obviously this is more specced out or more for alliance just because it is closer to an alliance zone. And it's more of an alliance zone here, so there may be a little bit of PvP, but you should be pretty right. The grave is literally right next to where the farm is located, so the run back would be super quick, and you shouldn't waste too much time if you have to run back for whatever reason, even if it's like PvP or if you die to these mobs. But they're super easy to actually kill. They only use melee obviously, so if you can kite these really well, and they're very easy to farm. So let me know down in the comments if you're going to try this farm out. Now you won't make the craziest amounts of gold per hour, maybe like 10 to 20 gold per hour with the current prices on my realm, but it's a super easy farm to do that pretty much anyone can do. Now skinning won't add too much on top of it, so you can just do this without skinning, and then obviously you'll have more time to actually run around and farm the meat because you'll spend less time skinning the mobs. If you'd like to learn more about making gold in Season of Discovery, you can check out my complete gold making guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box. and this is constantly being updated, and every time it gets updated, say for a new phase, you'll get the updated version completely for free sent to your email address. However, that was it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.